Hello again, everyone. This week, we are going to be moving into section 2.5 to finish off chapter 2 by looking at the measures of position, where the idea here is to look at various data points in a data set and compare them in terms of where they are relative to each other, as well as where they are in terms of the set as a whole. And for this, the two main things we're going to be talking about here are in terms of ideas called fractiles and then z-scores, where for fractiles we have percentiles and quartiles in particular, and with quartiles we get on top of that the ideas like the interquartile range, the 5-number summary, the box plots for being able to represent all of this, and then outliers for being able to specifically note where certain data points don't actually fit meaningfully with the rest of the information. And then we also have, like I said, the z-scores, where we're only going to be getting briefly introduced to what a z-score is here in terms of the mean and standard deviation. It is something we're definitely going to be coming back to later on, especially in chapter 5 and beyond. But for now, we're just getting an idea of what a z-score tells you, and then a bit more of how we use them in terms of things like the normal distribution and Chebyshev's theorem and the empirical rule, but we're only going to be very briefly touching on these things. They will come back later, so it's important that we get introduced and have a sense of what they are first when we get there. But anyway, for this week, because we've only got section 2.5, we're finishing off chapter 2. And because we're finishing off chapter 2, that means we're really finishing off unit 1, excuse me. Or because we're finishing off unit 1, that means we have our first exam this week. So, on Wednesday, we have all of our deadlines for MyLab for chapters 1 and 2. It's all the assignments in there, including extra credit and quizzes, although there might be a little adjustment in there near the end to make sure that my partial credit system's going properly, but we'll see exactly what happens there when we get there. From there, I have made, as you should know by now, a study guide available for the exam. I used to make that due in the afternoon before the exams opened up, but because we're moving back to in-person things, probably what I'm going to do instead is just make them due on Thursday night. Normally I'm not going to include this in the videos, but because it's the first one, I want to make sure you do know about it, even though at this point you should have seen plenty of information about what these things are going to be. But we've got those two things. Then, obviously, we have the exam on Friday, where we should have that all in class here, but I know that there are different arrangements that may need to be made for various people with their health and safety concerns, as well as accommodations. So, it's on Friday as far as I'm concerned, and as far as everything else is concerned, that's when it's going to be. And then from there, we have a pre-assessment moving us on into Unit 2 with Week 4. So, let's jump in here and finish off Chapter 2, and for that matter, Unit 1.